and they got kicked out the garden, that was placed on the southwestern border, which we just talked about. So the southwestern border would be the the river of Egypt, Libya. But Eden was 40 cubits above Earth, above the mountain. So Eden is technically not on Earth. So when they left that, they came down below, which is like coming down to another dimension, you could say, but came down below. But they were still on the mountain. And so now Adam and Eve died a lot after that because they didn't know how to eat, drink, none of that. I mean, after a while, he was like, Lord, if the serpent is over here, like, please don't let me go over there. When we sin, we continue to go because we don't die at the moment, right? Like when Eve touched the apple, he said, surely you won't die if you touch it. But God had said to Adam, he said, you eat it, you'll die. But the serpent told Eve, he said, if you touch it, surely you won't die. So when she touched it, she didn't die, nothing happened. So she kept going on with it, right? Now when she ate this fruit off the tree, the serpent was there, and he said he went into her, but it wasn't sexual. He possessed her, and we know it wasn't sexual because in the garden they didn't have digestive system, any of those things yet. Because Adam tells you that when they get out the garden, Satan appeared to Adam and tried to convince him to marry Eve. That's how the marriage of Eve even came up. And Adam was vexed. He was like, bro, I don't know what, I don't think I'm supposed to, I don't know, right? But the moral of this story is that when Adam was in his garden, Eve was in the south side of the border, on the mountain, you had the people that was below the mountain. Now on this mountain was brimstone and fire and stuff like that going up the mountain. And so the ones that below the mountain couldn't come up the mountain.
Yeah.
And the ones that below the mountain it was raw nature. It was nature. It was raw nature, and so what we're talking about is raw chaos.
Yeah.
Raw emotion. All these three things to go together. Right? Nature, chaos, emotion. So that's why you are not animals. You're not a dog. Don't act like an animal. And the reason why we're not animals is because we can control sexual urges, sexual tendencies, i.e., the RAPE word, and we control all these things. We control our diet, we control who, like in the animal kingdom, and I didn't want to mate with you, he just mate with you, right? We control our tendencies to want to kill the other man, kill the other king, Those things that were below the mountain, then it was this raw, chaotic energy, emotions, lust, fear, panic, i.e. pain. Now, you also had the satyrs out there, the satyrs out there. The ones like fluffy goats with that they're supposed to help man, got man in the forest, and they played up the flute.
Right.
And they'll have like human bodies or sometimes but they have like goat legs.
Yeah.
When Adam was going through, which is Adam and Eve, and Adam was going through all these trials and tribulations. And by the way, God called them angels at this time because he communed with them, and they were perfect because when they did mess up, they had God to correct them. If you tell your son, hey, man, you disrupted the class, I need you. When you do that, you need to go apologize to your teacher and apologize to the class in front of the class. And he disrupted the class, right? He got a letter home. But then he tell you, but Dad, I got it from the teacher and I apologize to the teacher and I apologize to the class. Did he not work in perfection? Exactly. That's how you go and walk and be perfect. But in God's world, you gotta know the laws. You gotta know his laws to even to even walk in that world. Like it's narrow. It's a narrow path. It's his laws. It's his laws, statutes, commandments, heritage. It's all of that. So if you know that, even when you stumble, if you do the things he said to do when you stumble, like go to him, you're walking in perfection. That's why he said, go off and be perfect. Even when you stumble, I told you what to do when you stumble. Now you don't do that, now when you're walking in chaos. So Adam was perfect in this world. He was going off, and though he kept dying, because it was a new world in him, God was there to guide him and carry him and lift him back up and tell him. Matter of fact, everything that Adam did, where he died at, where he walked at, the Lord said, I'm gonna die right there too. I'm gonna walk right there too. And God said that he sent his spirit, the word, to Adam. So the word is who?
Let me not mess up. Adam.
Yeshua. The word, The word is Yeshua. Okay. The Father is the thought. Yeah. The word is the Son.
Yeah.
So he sent his word to Adam.
Okay.
So Jesus was talking to Adam the whole time in the garden.
Okay.
When I told you, Jesus is, the Lord is 7 spirits.
Yeah.
Right? And so now you understand that Adam was actually talking to God, and he was talking to the word the whole time, the word that was protecting him and guiding him and undeading him. I mean, bringing him back to life. Every time he died, he said, I'm going to die in this cave too. They're going, in 3 days I'm going to rise, and don't worry because I'm seeing a flood over there. Don't go too far west because I'm seeing a flood over there. When Adam was in the wilderness, right? His newfound place. When he was going to and fro. Now, the only animal that didn't get named by Adam is the serpent. The serpent kept his name since the Leviathan, which is also the serpent. What the Lord called him, that snaky serpent that slithering when but in the Leviathan, which is the devil, right? And so you can't have a Tiamat without Leviathan. Okay. So now you put Samaria in order. Samaria is here. Adam and Eve is here. And everything below them that's going to eventually mate with each other and create Samaria. Okay. Samaria are lesser gods than these gods. The devil kept coming to them in different ways. He kept coming to them to trick them. So while Adam said, I'm gonna go over here and fast, and you go over there and fast, he would come to Eve in the form of an angel and say, the Lord has brought me and told me to tell you to go to Adam. So he get Adam out of his fasting. Right? And so Adam had went off to a way to go and fast or something like that. He was going with something. And this is when a spirit of a woman came upon him, but a woman that you could physically touch, have sex with, all that, right? And she was enticing him to have sex and said that the Lord sent me because surely you are tired. In other words, Eve has fulfilled her purpose, that you are tired, whatever, and you should have sex with me, or you should impregnate me and marry me. And this was what we call Lilith. He told her no. And then so she went and turned around and made it with her creator, which was Satan. Adam was roaming in this area. A family came up to him, and this is when he was enticed to have a family, to marry Eve. Around the time, don't quote me. But anyway, this happened in the book where they came up to him from the water. A whole family rose from the lake. It came up on him because Satan was showing him. He said, "No, I got better things for you to do than to be a carpenter, because God gave them fire, Adam fire and all stuff like that, right? So to work the field and do it, I got something better for you where I'm going, where I'm at, right? Matter of fact, I got a whole kingdom of things out here, people out here, things of my creations or whatever." So you see the people come out the river, out the lake, and start talking to Adam and Eve. Then they let out these calls, and then next thing you know, all these other creations that look like humans and angels come out, but they're all animals. they're all what we were just talking about with chaos. They all raw nature spirits, and some of all of them forms of animals, right? You got the this is what we get what we call the enchanted forest, because you also got the elves, the sprites, and the fairies and the pixies and all that. They're more with nature, like the elements of nature, the raw emotions of nature. That right, lead you, guide you, and deceive you, and trick you, and all these things to make you knowns and all this stuff like that, right? Steal stuff, trap you, all these things, right? And all these things are inherently chaos, right? If you understand a little bit of what the satanic view is about the body parts, and each body part relate to a spirit or and we know about the chakras and all these things, right? All these things relate to emotions, right? Which is, as a chaos, which is why Zeus and some of those gods was having babies out of their necks and stuff like that, because it was out of emotional points. It was out of rage and fear and lust, and it was out of all these things that was going through, right? And so, and also we talk about now when people get possessed and they hike up the wall like a spider, like a bat, or they act like a dog, they growl, and they hiss, or they crawl like some type of animals.